Good morning.
Hey, what's up good people? My name is YellowMotion and welcome to the continuation of my top 8 most anticipated video games of 2018. Games that I'm personally looking forward to see, play and experience. I kicked off this talk series with my selected games in part 1 and part 2, so make sure to watch the previous parts if you haven't done so, as this one will continue with the final remaining games and my own top 8 most anticipated video games of 2018. Alright, let's begin and continue.
YellowMotion presents
SpiderMan.
People see me and think they're safer. But it's not really me they're seeing. Probably for the best. Knowing everything hinges on a guy from Queens sounds as scary as it feels. No pressure, right?
Spider-Man 2, the video game for the PlayStation 2, is seen by many as one of the best Spider-Man games ever made. But that all may change right now with this next upcoming title by Insomniac Games. We all know Insomniac Games from games such as Ratchet & Clank, Spyro, and Resistance. And this time around, Insomniac Games has taken the power and the big responsibility to fill in the gap and deliver a true awesome Spider-Man game. By bringing life into Spider-Man and hopefully by delivering one of the best Spider-Man games we've seen and played, as this is for them the largest production ever that they did for a game.
Not today.
Spider-Man! Tell the boss is here!
The team has chosen to portray a more experienced Spider-Man, and it will tell a new story that's not tied to a film, comic book, or video game. But of course, the source material is carefully being respected, and it gives them the freedom to create a Spider-Man game like no other, and what they would like to see portrayed as their vision of the web slinger. And based on what we've seen so far, with its few but great trailers and gameplay, Insomniac Games seems to be delivering something truly special on a grand scale. Gameplay-wise, we can look forward to an open-world, modern-day New York City. You'll be able to use Spider-Man's abilities such as web-slinging and wall-crawling, as well as new gameplay elements such as parkour, environmental combat, cinematic QuickTime events, and stealth are also part of the game. And besides that, Peter Parker, outside of his Spider-Man suit, will be playable in parts of the game, and Mary Jane Watson will be playable in key moments of the game as well.
We've got to play this just right.
Since childhood, Spider-Man has always been one of my favorite superheroes from Marvel Comics, and having a game made by a passionate company like Insomniac Games surely makes me very excited, because they're also fans of Spider-Man and it is a very passionate project for them and they really want to deliver on it and for the fans. And the studio is known for making great games with a vision, passion and ambition, all of which have their own unique style and characteristics. They put much love and effort in making their games the best they can be. And having a large team of the studio now working on the Spider-Man games makes me look forward to what they have in store for us, as all the ingredients are there for this to become one of the greatest Spider-Man games ever made. Featuring a nice cinematic story with action-packed interactive cutscenes, the ability to free roam and web sling around the buildings of New York, helping people in need and having fun at the same time. That's what I want to see and experience. Simply playing and being Spider-Man.
Hi! Is this the flight to Newark?
Having complete faith, this game is looking to be one hell of a Spider-Man game that can hardly go wrong. And for longtime fans, such as me, let's hope that this game finally is the Spider-Man game Spider-Man truly deserves to get, and that the fans truly deserve to get. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Maybe the city needs our friend more than you think.
One.
God of War.
So I'm a man now. Like you?
No. We are not men. We are more than that. The responsibility is far greater.
2005 was to me one of the best and most memorable year in gaming, as in that year so many great games came out that were long-awaited next installments. Games such as Tekken 5, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, Soul Calibur 3, Devil May Cry 3, Burnout Revenge, Need for Speed Most Wanted. But it was also the year it got me introduced to new games such as Kingdom Hearts 2, and also to a brand new title that was the beginning of a great franchise and series called God of War. And now 13 years later, here we are again with the birth of a new God of War and the sequel to 2010 God of War 3. God of War revolutionized the gaming industry with its epic storytelling, jaw-dropping action sequences, and a compelling cast of gods and goddesses. I consider God of War to be one of the most epic and eye-catching franchises out there, and it has set the standard for many other action-driven games that have took inspiration and tried to follow its path.
I will have my revenge!
The badass Kratos we all know from the previous games will return as the main character, but this time around he has a son named Atreus, where Kratos acts as a mentor and protector to his son and has to master his rage that has driven him for many years. So we're going to see a much more calm and human Kratos than we've seen him in the previous games.
There it is!
Hold! What are you doing? Now his guard is up. Only fire. Only fire when I tell you to fire.
I'm sorry.
Do not be sorry. Be better. Find it.
God of War has always been one of those games that I instantly fell in love with from the minute I started playing it. You see, I was always fascinated with Greek mythology, with its history and its various Greek gods and their stories. And seeing that as the main setting for the God of War games was really great, along with Kratos and how really well fitted he was into the story, seeking vengeance against the God of War Ares for his betrayal to Kratos and for manipulating him for killing his own wife and daughter, his only family. By that, Kratos swore his vengeance to kill the God of War. Seeing how everything gets shaped up to be with Kratos was such a great thing to play and experience, and it was quite nothing like that. And also with God of War 2, its sequel, and God of War 3, the complete trilogy was just absolutely epic and pretty much a rampage on the gods. With big set pieces, unforgettable grand scale battles, epic driven music and lots of bloody gory action, with a much more angrier Kratos. That's where we are right now, with the all-new God of War, which is least to say vastly different in every part of the game, unlike its previous installments. The approach, the style, the gameplay, the direction, that's something I really like about this new approach for the series, and pretty much a rebirth. Yet it still continues. You see, although this is a continuation of the story after God of War 3, it is surely a soft reboot, in the sense that there are so many huge differences that this really can't be compared to any other God of War game that we've seen in the past. One of the first and obvious big difference is that the franchise will now take the series to the Norse mythology, since all the previous games were based on the Greek mythology. As many years have passed since Kratos took his vengeance against the Olympian gods, Kratos now lives with his young son Atreus in the world of the Norse gods. And over the course of their time together, Atreus learns more about his father's complicated and shady past, while struggling with whether to be like his father or choose to be his own person. The game will feature similar RPG elements, but also crafting abilities. But the most obvious and well-known trademark of the previous God of War games is now a major change in this one, because Kratos no longer will use his signature blades, as that makes sense as he, spoiler alert, lost these at the conclusion of God of War 3. Instead, he will now use a magical battle axe called the Leviathan Axe, which can be infused with elements, abilities, and thrown at enemies. Another new weapon that Kratos will utilize is a shield. When not in use, it folds up and appears like armor on Kratos' left forearm. When summoned, the shield can be used offensively and defensively, and also, quick time events won't be here, like it was in the previous games. And as far as gameplay and fighting against enemies, this time it's more one-on-one instead of taking down large enemy and masses like it was in the previous games.
Get back! Follow me.
Yes, sir.
And while Santa Monica tried to portray a different, more or less human side of Kratos in God of War Ascension, since that was chronologically the very first chapter in the series, it still was the Kratos we've seen to know, and it didn't expand that much on it. So it was pretty much the God of War we all knew and had seen for many years with many games in the series. And with this new God of War, it surely will give the players a fresh perspective and a new experience while delving deeper into the emotional journey of Kratos to explore the compelling drama that unfolds when an immortal demigod makes a decision to change. And that's why I do really think that with this new God of War, we finally are going to see that difference, yet unique side of Kratos that we've never seen and experienced before in the previous games. And we're going to be actually on a journey with him and his son, where we get to know his other side.
And he needs his father.
What is this?
It's the world serpent.
I'm very excited to see what lies ahead for Kratos with the Norse mythology setting and revamped gameplay and mechanics approached by the studio. It looks and feels fresh, and that's very good. It makes me very excited instead of getting that feeling of being there, done that. And the fact that the studio is behind it and is very passionate about it makes me very excited to look forward to the game. So my expectations with the new God of War are pretty much high, since it's so different and fresh than its past installments. And also, Cory Barlog, the director of this game, his involvement is a huge plus since he's been there since the first God of War as the animation director. And then for its sequel, he took the director's seat for God of War 2. And even though he was gone from the studio for a while, he has written the prequel stories of the PlayStation Portable games, Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta. So Cory knows Kratos very well since day one, and he knows how he wants to portray him in this game.
But until Cory came on and was able to actually take that and express it through animation, he was kind of a dead character. And Cory is as much as, if not more, the father of Kratos than I am.
Oh, Dave.
It's true.
And really, I couldn't have imagined another person besides him for this 5-year journey in the making. And each one of these things adds to the hype and excitement that I have right now to play and experience this game very, very soon. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, why God of War is right now my most anticipated game of 2018. And I fucking can't wait for it, man.
Boy!
What?
Do it!
There you have it, folks. These were my top 8 most anticipated video games of 2018. And still, we have a lot of good stuff in the lineup that's surely gonna come at big events such as E3, Gamescom, and PlayStation Experience. So what do you think of this video, folks? I hope you had a good time watching and enjoying it, as much as I loved making this for you guys. And if you want to see more, then make sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And most importantly, click on the bell to receive all notifications when I upload a video, as more gaming videos shall come. And finally, what do you think of the games that are featured in this video? We all have our own personal tastes and interests in gaming, which makes me really curious to know what your most anticipated video games of 2018 are and why. Could be your top 8, top 5, top 3, doesn't matter. The best way you see fit. Let me know and discuss it with the others in the comments below, as I really would love to reply and read them all. Alright, that was it for me, guys. Thanks for watching, and I see you soon on the next one. Peace!